Hello. Today I'm joined by Shudder Island, and we will tell 6 stories about the deep web. After listening to these 3 stories on my channel, please make sure to go to Shudder Island's channel, as a link provided to hear the other 3. Enjoy. Number 1. Alexander. My curiosity about the deep web came from listening to all these YouTube narrators who tell stories of the horrible things that happen to people whenever they decide to surf the deep web. I suppose a lot of people take these stories as some sort of warning to keep as far away from the deep web as possible. But there are probably some people out there who want to go onto the deep web because they are looking for danger. And then there are people like me who just think all the deep web stories happen to be is a bunch of bullcrap. Now, I know there's a difference between the deep web and the dark web. Obviously, when most of us are talking about the deep web, we really mean the dark web. I went and did research on the actual deep web and found something that I believe to be true. Rather than being this haven for all sorts of criminal activity, it is mostly just a big catalog of scanned documents that most people couldn't care about. These would be like business documents that have no purpose appearing in a Google search. I've expressed my disbelief in this sort of thing to people who post on deep web videos. They generally tell me that I'm stupid and that the deep web is a really dangerous place, but I simply laugh at them. After I had posted a negative comment about the deep web believers on one of Mr. Nightmare's videos, I got some private messages daring me to go onto the deep web if I was brave enough. I, of course, answered and explained that it has nothing to do with bravery or lack thereof. I didn't know how to access the deep web, and I really didn't feel like going there and being bored off my ass. One of the people who was challenging me told me that he would explain to me how to get onto the deep web. He also said that he knew of a website I could go to that would not be boring. It was a game. He told me that if I had ever played Clue before, it was a lot like that. So, I would be going onto the deep web, per his instructions, and I would have an activity to do. If I was as brave as I thought I was, then I would do it. All the criteria that I had laid out for not wanting to go on the deep web had been taken care of. So basically, it was put up or shut up for me. I decided to go ahead and do it. I figured I had nothing to lose, and it would be funny to go ahead and see what all the fuss was about, or wasn't about, as I believe the case would be. So the guy explained to me what to do. I got the Tor browser, and he gave me directions on how to get to this game of his. I was in the mood to be scared, and although I didn't really believe it would happen, I decided to go ahead and make the atmosphere in my house as creepy as possible. I went into the kitchen because we have a bunch of large glass doors there, and at night, the room can look very, very creepy. I set my laptop on the desk and followed this guy's directions. I was a bit disappointed when I got to the website. It was less like a modern-day computer game, and a lot more like one of those text-based games from the earlier computer days. You know what I mean, like the Zork games? First, it asked me to input my name. My name is Alex, but I wasn't going to use that. I typed in Josh. I may not believe completely in the danger of the deep web, but that didn't mean that I couldn't be cautious while I was there. The rest of the game played out in a very strange way. It gave me a list of names, much like the ones you would get from a Clue game, but much more comical. And I mean really bad too. Like, instead of Colonel Mustard, there was Sergeant Ketchup. And no, I'm not kidding. That was actually a name in this game. The game itself was a lot like 20 questions. I would have to ask questions in order to find out who the clue victim was, in what room they were in, and with what weapon they were killed. In order to come to my conclusion, I had to eliminate rooms, and weapons, and people by asking these questions. It was actually pretty fun, and I found myself getting into it. I may have been playing for about half an hour when I finally had asked the maximum number of questions to be allowed. Then, up on the screen popped the instruction, "Guess the victim." Honestly, I have no memory of what I typed in. But I typed in a name, a weapon, and a room. It took a moment, but the game then told me my answer was incorrect. But the next line is what sent a chill down my spine, and it is the part of the game I will never forget. The line was, "The victim is Alexander, in the kitchen with a butcher knife." I stopped, and several things rushed through my mind. How did they know my name? I mean, that was scary enough, but how the hell did they know I was in the kitchen? Was someone watching me? I jumped up and ran over and turned on the outside lights. I was scared that someone might have been outside the glass doors watching me, but no one was there. I made sure the doors were locked before going back to my computer. I left the website and closed my laptop. Shaken, I eventually talked to a friend about it. He was really good with computers. He told me that it was likely just some website set up by some hacker who turned on my laptop webcam through the internet. He said they probably hacked into my laptop and got my name. I really have no idea. I didn't even know people could do that. I don't really want to have any idea. I don't know if it was just a trick or something much, much worse. But nothing had happened to me. So that's good. And I'm sort of hoping the guy who challenged me on Mr. Nightmare's page is not a Killer Orange Cat subscriber, because I never told him that he was right. Number 2. The Wrestler. I'm a big professional wrestling fan, and please don't give me crap about it being lowbrow entertainment and fake. I know it's lowbrow entertainment and fake. That's exactly what I like about it. I'm also a fan of horror. I mean, I guess I'd have to be if I'm submitting horror stories to be read on a YouTube horror channel. And I also heard you're skeptical about what happens on the deep web. So, I want to share what I saw on the deep web. Now first, I'm not one of those people who downloaded Tor and went to a horrible website, then got scared, deleted Tor, and never went back to the deep web again. I've had Tor on my computer for a couple years, and I still have it on me now. I figure I'm not the one doing anything illegal, so I might as well watch other people do it. Hell, I'm even a member of several deep web forums. I will be honest though, the majority of what I have seen on the deep web pales in comparison to the majority of stories I've heard. But the one thing that sticks with me more than anything else is a video of a wrestling match that I saw on the deep web. I found out about the match because another guy on one of the forums I post on saw that I had quoted Ric Flair in my signature. He asked me if I liked pro wrestling. I let him know that I really, really enjoy pro wrestling. He told me if I wanted to watch a really sick wrestling match, that he would direct me to it. I was not sure at first if I wanted to. I mean, wrestling is something I enjoy, but it's not something I really want to mix with horror. I still haven't seen the movie Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies, and it looks like a really bad and therefore probably enjoyable movie. But the guy insisted that the video on the deep web was pretty cool and disturbing, and he promised me that I would not regret it. Alright, before I go any further, I have to tell you that this is not what you're thinking. What I saw was not someone getting killed, or brutally beaten half to death in the ring. I'm sure that is where your mind must be going. Wrestling match on the deep web ends up being a snuff film match. But that's not it. I got to the website with the video on it, and let it load. Yes, let it load. It took nearly 5 minutes to even begin playing. It was like some of those low-quality porn sites with a bunch of ads that the videos never play right away. You know the ones I mean. Don't lie. You've been there and we all know it. Anyway, when the video was playing, it was pretty weird. It was taking place in an actual wrestling ring, but it looked like it was set up in someone's basement. There was barely enough room in the room for anything other than the ring itself. The ceiling was so low that no one could get on the top of the ropes if they were in the mood to do that. I kept wondering what could it be that made this match so special. I found out pretty quickly. A man, dressed in black spandex, sort of like a Venom costume if you're familiar with him from Spider-Man. He was standing in the corner of the ring. The camera then showed me his opponent. It was a man lying in the middle of the ring. He had on one of those wrestling masks, but there was no doubt by the look in the man's eyes that he was already dead. The bell rang, and then I just witnessed the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. The alive wrestler ran over and dropped an elbow onto the dead wrestler, making a sickening thud. The dead body jiggled a bit. The alive wrestler actually was going to be using holds and moves on a corpse. I won't explain the whole match to you, but I'll explain why it was disturbing. The dead man's eyes were always facing the camera, and they were empty. And I could tell his body was stiff as the alive wrestler tried moving it into various positions. Whenever he tried picking up the corpse's arms, or legs, or head for a hold, the body would just flop down, lifelessly, back on the mat. And another disturbing fact, a dead body does not have flexibility, so the moves were very awkward. The absolute worst moment came when the alive wrestler grabbed the dead one's legs, flipped the corpse over on his stomach, and put it in a Boston Crab move. This is where the wrestler bends the prone wrestler's legs backward over his back and sits down, in basis bending the person's spine the wrong direction. I heard a really sickening crack and saw the dead body's eyes staring at me. That was more than I could take, and I clicked out of the video. I tried to find a happier website on the shallow web to get the look of those eyes out of my mind and to forget that sickening cracking noise. I don't know if it's illegal to wrestle with the corpse, and I really couldn't care less. Although I still surf the deep web, I've never been curious enough to go back to that site and finish watching that video. But yeah, I know you're skeptical about the deep web. My thoughts on it are this. You might not see someone getting killed, and someone might not find out where you live and stalk you. But that doesn't mean there aren't some freaky ass things on there.
Number 3. I can't disclose much information, but I work for the UK government. I was assigned to track down several missing people who were spotted on what is known as the deep web. I had briefly heard of this place before, but some research was required before I went in. It is a place where criminals can be safe, contract killers, live stream murders, child pornographers, the darkest depths of the internet. Time to get to it. I fired up my PC and downloaded the Tor browser. No problems. Installed and up and running in a matter of moments. Due to my prior research, I knew the hidden wiki would lead me to find the site I needed. The missing people had been spotted on a live stream torture site. This is where I started. So many horrific acts. I saw one where someone captured a homeless man and the director was commenting on what they wanted done to him. He had his eyes gouged out, face cut and skinned, all live. On with the search. I was looking for a white male, brown hair, blue eyes, around 6 foot and 195 pounds, 183 centimeters and 88 kilograms, roughly, for you metric enthusiasts. This was not going to be a pleasant experience. I counted 23 people, if not more, being tortured, raped, mutilated, and brutally murdered in front of the camera. Until I found one which stood out. White male, brown hair, around 6 foot, who looked about 195 pounds. I had to endure watching him tortured and killed for 47 painful and horrendous minutes. After the murder, something even worse happened. I saw that the murderer cut open his chest and spread his ribs and lungs out like a bird. I'd seen this before. The Blood Eagle. The Blood Eagle was once used to kill a king who killed someone's father. Originated in Nordic civilizations. The details weren't important now. What was important was the fact that the Blood Eagle cult could be back. A group of contract killers who operated anywhere and everywhere, always sacrificing people to the eagle, which they called God. Someone has to put a stop to this. I did not have the resources. I did not have the training to take down a criminal organization by myself. I did not even have any solid evidence to take to my superiors. No proof of the Blood Eagles even existed. Just one sick and twisted video I found on the internet. I needed a break to return to normality. I closed down the browser after exiting the site. Something was very wrong. My desktop background. It wasn't the picture I cherished of me graduating from Sandhurst with my proud uniform and family. It was something which would forever change me. A picture of a corpse, with his ribs spread open and his lungs on display. A blood eagle I could not take any more. I gasped and powered down my computer. A virus? It must be. Used to scare the sickos who watched those things. I ran out of my office, but I heard my computer whirring into life. Dashing back into my room, I stared in horror at the monitor. No blood, no gore, just some words. My name, then the words, "The eye of the eagle sees all." How did they remotely turn on my computer? How the fuck did they know my name? I ran outside, grabbing my keys, wallet and phone. I quickly took a breath of fresh air and walked. I just walked for a while. In the real world, It was just a computer virus, right? Wrong. I could not be out too long. My wife would be coming home from work. She can wait. I was scared. For once I was truly scared. Terrified, you could say. I found myself sitting on a bench, talking to a nice old man about the weather and woodworking tips and other hobbies. I forgot about everything that had happened until I went home. My door was unlocked, a tad open. Strange. Jenny, my wife, always keeps the door locked. I opened and bellowed upstairs. Sorry love, I took a walk, needed a breather. I ran upstairs to see her. Not noticing the blood on the walls, I opened the bedroom door. The whole room was red, soaked with blood. What I can only hope was not Jenny's face, was slashed up beyond all recognition, and her throat was slit multiple times. I've seen dead before, but nothing close to this. I stared in horror. The wings, her lungs spread out over her ribs. The blood eagle. What the fuck? How the fuck? My flood of anger and fear and overwhelming misery was interrupted by a voice. It said my name, although heavily distorted. It came from my office. It came from my computer. I saw the face of a black and white mask, yet still slightly pixelated. I screamed, "What have you done? Who are you? What the fuck are you?" He replied with, "We." He said, "We are the Blood Eagle. We kill as he wishes. Do not stop us. Do not try. Do not search us, or you and your closest family will suffer. The eagle sees all, and can do terrible things." I was speechless and feeling like I brought this upon her. I wanted nothing to do with this anymore. I made a decision. I rang the police, told them what happened. They investigated, said it was suicide. I could not believe it. Weeks passed. I was haunted by the event. I booked a flight to Canada. We had a nice log cabin there. I packed almost everything I had. My trusty shotgun, clothes, all my cash in Canadian dollars. I left my life behind, quit my job. I never wanted to go back to the deep web or have anything to hear from it.
Hey all, Killer Orange Cat here. If you like this video, please let me know by hitting the like button. If you're not already subscribed to Killer Orange Cat, please hit the button next to my little orange buddy to be informed of new content. Please feel free to share this video and follow Ichigo and myself on Facebook and Twitter. I have to be honest though, it'll probably be me more than Ichigo on Facebook and Twitter, but he's there in spirit. I'd like to thank Shudder Island for this collaboration. To see the other half of the collaboration, please visit his channel at the link provided. There will be 3 stories about the deep web, including one by me. Please stick around afterwards and subscribe to his channel as well. Personally, I had such a busy streak of videos the last week, I needed to take a few days off just for a break. In that time period, I surpassed 8,000 subscribers, and I'm on my way towards 450,000 views for my videos. I just want to thank everyone who listens, and comments, subscribes, and helps me feel that what I'm doing is worthwhile. And I definitely feel that, and I appreciate that. And remember to make sure to check in your closet and check under your bed, because you never know where a killer orange cat might be hiding. Good night.